Ask me about Mitch Marner or something.
So,
let's start the Patrick Marleau trade. A lot of people are up in arms about the price we gave up because we gave up a first-round pick just to trade away Patrick Marleau's $6 million salary. Now, does the price suck? Yes. But did the deal have to be made? Yes. So, what else could Kyle Dubas have done? Well, try and get a 3-team deal going. I'm not sure what fell apart with LA. And all along, if you rewind 4 or 5 episodes ago, so Carolina needs to meet the minimum. $60 million they have to pay minimum salary next year. They're nowhere near it. They need to take money. He ends up going to Carolina. We end up giving a first-round pick. LA Kings wanted him because his old coach was there, Todd McClellan. So why was there nothing possible where, all right, he goes to Carolina.
yeah.
They retain 50% of his salary. They get $3.1 million. And then he gets shipped off to LA. And then they take the other $3 million and he plays for them. That way, Carolina's not taking a full $6 million. So you don't have to give them a freaking first-round pick. But now, you can't get a third team involved. He gets bought out by Carolina. You lost your first-round pick. And now he gets to go home to San Jose anyways on a freaking $900,000 deal, $1.5 million deal. So, it's tough. Kyle Dubas, I think he had other options, but I'm not the ones taking those phone calls from the Kings and the Canes, seeing what they're willing to do, right? And then I think they really severely lost out on PK Subban. And that's on Kyle Dubas and his management.
About the whole...
Dude, I was over the moon. Lots of guys arguing with me on Twitter, and I'm going to explain to you why this could have been possible and why they should have done it. This guy went for peace.
Arguing with you on Twitter?
Dude, so many people. Guys used to go to school with. Some random people. Like,
I do too much arguing with you, man. That's why I stay off Twitter. I can't argue with more.
Honestly, I hate Twitter because people are they're crazy fans who don't think about anything
well,
analytically.
the problem is it gives everyone a voice.
Right. I know PK Subban had his lowest point totals last year, like 38 points or something. But this guy, a bona fide shutdown defenseman, offensive defenseman, great two-way player from the Toronto area. And everybody's saying, we can't take his full $9 million salary. Yes, we could have. And New Jersey got him so cheap because they took down his full $9 million salary. Nashville didn't retain any salary. What you could have done, you traded Patrick Marleau, so you had his $6 million available. Now, we use that now to re-sign Kapanen and Johnsson, which will be announced shortly. Well, Kapanen is a better player. If the price to get PK Subban is Andreas Johnsson in 2 seconds, that is a no-brainer. And in my mind, Mitchell Marner is no longer a Maple Leaf. According to Brian Burke, he turned down a 8-year deal for $10 million per year. $80 million guaranteed.
Oh, wow.
In US dollars. Check on your phone. What is that in Canadian dollars?
What? How much?
80 million US. Because this is a kid who's living in Canada year round. You're turning down 80 million US. All right? You can't. At least they can't pay him $11 million. I think Dubas has realized that.
105 Canadian.
This guy turned down $105 million Canadian. Are you kidding me?
Why though?
Because he thinks he's Austin Matthews. Literally. So,
is this what we always talk about? You gotta have, which is what we liked about a guy like Danny Green. You gotta be realistic.
You gotta be conscious.
Yourself. Yeah,
right.
Be realistic
Self-conscious.
about yourself.
So
it's good to think you're the best, but
if Mitch Marner wants 11, Mitch Marner wants 11. We offered him $10 million. He declined it. This guy's gone. PK Subban would have been your number 2 defenseman playing with Morgan Rielly at $9 million, cheaper than what you're willing to give Mitch Marner. And pretty much for the same impact type of player, just on the back end instead of forward. And if you lose Andreas Johnsson, well, so be it. He's a second, third line forward. He's a stretch second line forward. Right? Like, guy came in we give him a $3 million deal. Are you kidding me? Andreas Johnsson and 2 second round picks is way better than what Jersey gave them. Jersey gave them 2 second round picks and 2 piles of garbage. An AHL prospect and a 7th, 8th defenseman.
2 piles of garbage.
It was literally Nashville just wanted to clear the $9 million to go after free agents. They just said whoever can take full $9 million, you can have them. 2 second round picks for a top 2 defenseman. Are you kidding me? And the Leafs couldn't pull that off. The thing is, Dubas has got to do the tough thing. Brendan Shanahan's got to do the tough thing. Swallow your pride and realize that Mitch Marner has too much ego. He values himself over the team. Doesn't care about winning. Make the tough call and part ways with him. I don't think he's going to get offer sheeted. Everybody's talking about it. Nobody's giving up 4 first round picks. He's going to end up getting traded. So what Kyle Dubas needs to do now, like I said before, go out, get yourself a top 2, top 3 defenseman, with 2 first-round picks coming back, and then use those first-round picks to go get another forward. But is he gonna have the cojones to say Mitch Marner's gone? He's coming around. The other day he said it's not 100% guaranteed that we would match any offer sheet given to him. Now that could be
He
just
said that?
he said that. That could just be him saying to Mitch Marner, "Hey, you want to go look at offer sheets? Go ahead, because we might let you walk."
Well, then they'll probably think he's like bluffing.
I think they think he's bluffing. I don't think he is. If he is bluffing,
You don't think he is?
It's too much, dude. Take your 10 million, man. I told in the previous episode. I told you the reasons why he's not Austin Matthews. Doesn't score goals. Doesn't play the center of the ice. Got a lot better with John Tavares.
How did they?
He went up like 18
in the
points
series
with John
against
Tavares.
Boston. What was the points like between the two?
Austin Matthews had 5 goals in 7 games. Mitch Marner had 3 points.
I remember he had 2 goals in the first.
No, he had a goal. I think a goal and 2 assists, something like that.
I'm pretty sure he had 2
Matthews had
goals.
5 goals and 7 assists. Let's find out right now.
Really? I thought it was a lot closer than that.
Mitch Marner, these playoffs, he had 4 points in 7 games, 2 goals, 2 assists. Disappeared after game 1. Austin Matthews. Austin Matthews, 6 points, 5 goals. Doesn't matter about the assists. They're different type players, but I've said time and time and again, the hardest thing to do in hockey is score goals. Matthews is a bona fide goal scorer, top 5 goal scorer in the league. In 68 games last year, at 37 goals. If he played 82 games, he'd probably have 48 to 50 goals. All right, this guy's top 5 scorer in the league. Mitch Marner is he's not a top 5 player in the league. All right, it's the reality of things. Is he a fantastic player? Do I want him on the team? Yes. But is he what he thinks he is? No. And it could be his father. I've said before, reports his father is pretty involved.
But we don't know. We don't know how.
We don't know how involved.
Like,
and his agent, Darren Ferris.
how credible those.
Right, his
reports
agent
are.
is a guy who likes to talk to the media a lot. You know, one of those agents. He doesn't go quiet about his business.
I feel like that could be good for an athlete.
Well,
'cause
apparently,
it keeps them out of media.
so Brian Burke with Sportsnet,
That the agent
former
told.
Leafs general manager, he's the
Yeah.
one that reported that Marner turned down a 8-year, $10 million
yeah.
because a Sportsnet source got it from Marner's agent. So this guy likes to leak stuff, but to me, it's like
I'm sure it's an okay with thing before he leaks it.
you hope. But to me, it's like you got to realize something. Whether this guy resigns or not, fans are now turning on Mitch Marner because he leaked that he turned down $10 million. Not one Leafs fan, well, some Leafs fans who are in over their heads think he deserves 11, but not many. So now this guy's looking like the bad guy. He's making his client look like the bad guy in his hometown. And can you imagine? A lot of stuff was made about when John Tavares went back to the New York Islanders this season. I don't know if you saw those highlights. The fans were killing him. They were throwing stuff on the ice, ripping apart his jerseys. If you think that was bad, imagine this guy walking down the streets of Toronto because he lives here in the summer. If he turned down $10 million, then gets traded because they can't re-sign him or signs an offer sheet somewhere.
I don't think he'd be walking around Toronto after that.
Exactly. Somebody is throwing a freaking banana and a pile of garbage at his face.
Why banana?
I'm just saying, like, you're not going to throw someone hard and
Is that
kill the
the
guy,
thing?
but he's going to get mauled, destroyed in his hometown. When he comes back next year to play in the ACC, walking out of his hotel. You thought the Warriors
Man,
got it
bro, this
bad?
is some stressful
People will
shit
be
to be thinking
People will
about.
be sleeping outside of this guy's
It's
hotel.
fucking- what? Like, how old is he? 22, probably? 20?
I think he's a year younger than us,
Who?
Mitch Marner.
So
He's
he's probably
97.
22. He's
Yeah.
probably turning 22.
Yeah.
Or is 22. These are stressful fucking decisions to be making.
But
bro.
that's why you got to take stuff into your own hands and not leave it
Yeah.
up to your agent. William Nylander, when it got down to it, December
I'm surprised he
15th.
thinks he's a fucking $10 million
Over $10
dollars.
million.
Yeah, over $10 million
So
a year.
the guy who
at
just
22?
won both NHL has 2 MVP
That's
awards. Nikita Kucherov just won both of them.
Yeah.
There's one voted by the players and there's one voted by the general manager of the league. This guy just won both of them. He's making $9.5. So I'll give you $9 million.
Well,
And then everybody's talking. Brian Hayes made a good point that he keeps saying, "Oh, Austin Matthews. If you want to go sign to another team, they're gonna say, what's Austin Matthews to us? He doesn't play for our team."
yeah.
Colorado has $36 million in cap space. They were a playoff team last year. Really good team. Okay, that's the one good team who could go after Mitch Marner and have the cap space. They're going to say $11, $12 million. Nathan McKinnon, our best player who's better than you, is making 6.2.
How much is McDavid making?
12 and a half.
12?
So if this
That's
guy thinks
crazy
he
that he
deserves...
thinks he's that close to... That's actually pretty wild.
And you think Matthews is not McDavid, but Matthews is a better goal scorer than McDavid.
This is a confirmed thing, though, that he believes that he's worth over 10 million.
Or his agent is telling him and his father is telling him that he's worth over 10.
Is this who leaked this? His agent? Again?
Yeah, his agent gave... So $10 million came from Brian Burke, who
with the agent talking a lot in the media.
See what I was getting at?
Yeah.
This is
fucked.
This is not good, man. And this all ties back into...
Hopefully he signs here for $10 million a year, because...
I don't even want to give him the 10. At this point, I'm ready to get rid of him. No.
Damn.
Think of it this way. The NHL salary cap next season,
I was gonna say, what's the cap?
is $81.5 million.
Okay.
Okay, Austin Matthews at 11.5.
Okay.
John Tavares is at 11. You give Mitch Marner even say 10. That's $32 million in 3 players.
And then you got $50 million left.
$50 million to 15 more spots on your roster. Your goalie's making over 5. Kadri's at 4.5.
Okay.
Brownlee's at 5. Like, man, it's just adding up quick.
What's Nylander?
6.9. How can you build a competitive team?
Yeah.
And I keep telling you, the Boston Bruins and St. Louis Blues in the finals, highest paid player for both of them, 7.25. It's the reason why they're in the Cup Finals. Deep teams.
It's true.
Very clear. And the
Teamwork
Leafs are letting this happen.
championships.
They're letting these kids get away with murder, get gangbusters.
That's crazy. You just got eliminated in the first round. You want to make that much money now?
Eliminated in the first round, and you disappeared after game 1, game 2.
I don't know how it is in hockey, but I feel like in any other sport, if you try that shit, you're off.
If Lou Lamoriello was still here, he's sending Mitch Marner packing a month ago. The old GM, who's now
Imagine like Mitchell was like, fuck this, yo, I deserve fucking like, I don't know, fucking.
I think the max NHL is 15 million. The max NHL is 15 mil.
A year?
Yeah, 8 years. So that's how they missed out on PK Subban. If you have come to this conclusion earlier,
close to that?
No, David at 12.5.
He's the closest.
Yeah, he's 12 or 12.5. I forget.
What about Crosby? He's gonna get no.
8.7 because he wants to win. He's got 3 cups, 3 rings.
Well, this year he goofed.
Well, you can't win every year.
Anyway.
And his team's a little bit older
Fair
now. They
enough.
got to retool.
Ovechkin too, less.
He's around 10, I think.
Okay.
But see, him and Sid, difference. Back then, you could sign long deals. They each of them signed like 12-year deals.
Oh.
So they were okay with taking a little bit less as well, right? Because you're gonna get that long term. But the guys in Chicago, Kane and Taves, when they won their 3 cups, they're making around 6.5. Afterwards, and they said, okay, now pay me. I've got 3 rings. Now they're making 10.5, and
if you're able to see this, why can't the fucking GM?
That's what I'm saying. This kid is in over his head. He's in his low 30s. What's the guy's name? Mark Hunter, who they let go. It was between.
Is there pressure, you think, from like fans and like you have to sign Marner?
Yeah, there's lots of pressure. The thing
but
is,
like even if he's asking for that much, like there's no logic that comes into like, okay, you know what? If he's gonna actually ask for that much, okay, don't sign.
There is logic.
Okay,
I think he's slowly coming to the realization, but he waited too long. You lost out on PK Subban, and you don't know what's gonna happen next. What I could see happening, the only way to salvage this, like, trade Mitch Marner to Colorado for Tyson Barrie and 2 first-round picks. I don't know why Colorado wants to move Tyson Barrie, but he was on the trading block at the draft. They have $36 million in cap space and want to move their best defenseman. I don't know why, but that's fine by me. I'll take him.
But yeah, we fucking figured it out. Defense wins championships.
Yeah.
You gotta have a strong defense. Didn't you say who they trying to move from the defense? You're like, we're gonna have to add 2 more defensive players or else we're fucked.
Nikita Zaitsev still wants out. He asked for a trade.
Still wants out, eh?
Still wants out. His house is for sale in Toronto. So
really?
Yeah, remember I reported that. His house was for sale before he even asked for the trade.
And just kick him out, no?
Right? So
why him? Why no one's throwing shit at him?
He's Russian. Nobody cares. He sucks. He's overpaid. And now the problem is, he's overpaid. Lou Lamoriello gave him too long of a contract. He's got 5 years left at $4.5 million.
Yeah.
And nobody. I think he's about a $3.5 million player, but nobody wants to take that. You might have to give up another freaking draft pick to move his money away. Could you imagine now you have to give a 2nd-round pick to trade this guy? They're in shambles. Mark Hunter was the guy for the job. Kyle Dubas should have stayed on as assistant general manager instead. Then with the younger guy, and Mark Hunter left.
So what do you want to see happening with them?
Trade Mitch Marner to Colorado for Tyson Barrie, or just find me a top 2, top 3 defenseman and get some first-round picks back with it. Because here's the thing, offer sheet, if the Leafs can get 4 first-round picks, great. Yeah. But who's going to want, okay, your 2020, 2021 first-round draft picks teams are going to want. Mm-hmm. But 2022, 2023, teams are like, yo, that's so far away, right? So what I'd rather do is trade him, get a nice defenseman and 2 first-round picks.
Yeah.
And I don't think a team is really going to want to give up 4 first-round picks Because even if, say, you're Colorado, you're whoever, doesn't matter. You're competing now, right? You don't know what's going to happen 4 years down the line. You could be giving up a lottery pick 4 years from now.
That's true.
A lot of things can change in 4 years in sports. So, Kyle Dubas has got a lot of work. And the Leafs have got me fed up right now. Fed up.
Raptors.
I was talking to a buddy last night. He messaged me like 1:30 in the morning. We started talking Leafs.
Yeah.
We're up to 2:30 in the morning just going back and forth talking about all this shit going down right now. They got my mind racing. Fired up.
Don't worry. You still got Raptors to look forward to next year.